Ta-da! Check out my billboard. My boobs are my billboard. Monetize me on YouTube. I've been eligible now since November. Okay, I have met every qualification. I've done everything, but they're still taking their sweet time. So hashtag monetize me YouTube at www.youtube.com/MamaBestWorld. And if you order one of these t-shirts, which I've had them up forever, I think the campaign's over. I'm going to have to redo them. You put and then you put your name underneath. So for any of the YouTubers out there who are in the same blooming situation I am, you've met all the requirements, you've done everything you're supposed to, yet they still haven't monetized you, you want to shirt. Okay? Let's see. I'm going to get some people in here. Who all's in here? Okay. I gotta get my chat up. Because of course, you have to open like 100 different screens on this thing to get started. So we get started on here. But give me just a minute. And people are gonna do panel if they can get Google to work for them, because of course, it never works for anybody the first time. I think I had to mess with it about 10 times before it started working. And let me see, I'm signing in on this one. If anyone wants to join the panel, all you have to do is send me a DM on Twitter, Mama Beth, at Mama Best World. If you send me a DM and you can give me a little background, so that way I know that you're not a troll, because obviously we have trolls who come in here, but I hope nobody would try to come on the panel that was a troll. Just send me a DM and I'll send you the link so you can pop into Hangouts. Now, if you don't know what Hangouts is, it's the Google program that allows you to live stream. Okay, it's what we use on here. It works in conjunction with the thumbnail. That's hilarious. Oh my Lord. Anyway, we use it in conjunction with YouTube, and it lets us go live. Now, come on, y'all, behave yourself. My laptop's not listening. Like a bad dog or bad youngin'. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, now let me see if it's going to let me see the chat. And I hope my mods are in here. They worked overtime last week. They didn't let any trolls get away with nothing, and I was so proud. So, okay, it's still swirling. It's on the swirly. Now, and I'll be checking my Twitter. Got Twitter put up on a different one. So, let me see. Notifications. It's messages I need. It's always like a circus starting this. Okay, I'm hearing myself. Now I gotta mute it. There we go. Shut up, Beth. I hear me 3 times. Okay. Hey, Jane, there you are. Cats are fed, geese are fed, you're fed. Jane and I have the same thing going on. I have my dogs and we have the outside critters, and gotta take care of everything before we can sit down and do something. So, thank you, Michelle, for coming. I appreciate it, and Jennifer and Jacob. Jacob, if you don't have a Twitter, you'll have to send me your email in a DM. Hi, Shells in Ireland. Hi, doll baby. Hi, Drama Queen. We are here. Just being me. Hello, sweetheart. Well, I'm glad you're here. Just being me. You come and you just stay as long as you can. And I'm just tickled to see everyone here. You've watched me before, but have never caught me live. Well, I'm glad you're here live. And as you all know, this is Safe Space, talking about domestic violence. Now, if you want to come on the panel, it'll ask you whether you want to enable your microphone and your camera. What I'd like you to do is enable your microphone, but not your camera, because we want to keep your face anonymous, because obviously we're talking about sensitive subjects, and I don't want anyone to, have any issues with, somebody using that down the road or putting it in a video or anything. I don't think that's, I think things like this need to be said. They need to be talked about, but you don't necessarily need to have your face all over the internet. So your brother-in-law, sister-in-law, cousin, neighbor, whoever can see it. So Kentucky Chick, hello, doll baby. I'm so glad you're here. Now, once again, y'all know my Twitter is Mama Beth. It's at Mama Beth World. So you can find me on Twitter. Send me a DM. My DMs are open, and anybody that wants to come on, you are more than welcome. Okay. So, oh, proof is in the pudding. Hi, sweetheart. Change your plans. Okay. Well, I'm so glad you're here. Now, yeah, you feed the flock, herd and gaggle first. That's exactly right. I'm very interested in this topic as well. I have a background that makes me shudder and send prayers and thanks to be alive. You know, just being me, you're always welcome to come on. And, you know, I say this to anyone who has talked to me or been in therapy with me or just had a sit down. They always hear me say, there's a Native American saying that when you share a problem, you have it. And then when you share it again, you have it again. So eventually, as you share whatever is bothering you, you lighten the burden and the pain, and eventually becomes so small it disappears. And that's what we're doing here. We're sharing our story. And hopefully, you know, with our sharing, we will find that our own pain and our own memories and our own suffering is lessened, and we can find some peace in that, and we can support others. And who knows who's going to listen and watch this stream one of these days, maybe years from now, maybe a month or two from now, and they go, wait a minute, my boyfriend, my spouse is acting like that. They're doing that to me. And, you know, that woman said that it got worse and worse. Maybe I should listen. And hopefully we can affect some change. You know, maybe we can save the next woman from being hurt, from being abused. Stop some domestic violence from occurring. As you know, if you watch my domestic violence video, you'll know that the statistics are just horrible. And I want to send out a prayer to everyone that was injured or killed in the school shooting in Florida. My heart's broken for that. And there were, was it 18 victims? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. There were 18 victims. And then I got to thinking there were 18 children killed. But there are 3 women killed every day by domestic violence. Now, we got really upset because we love our children, and I am not trying to minimize that at all. But we get real upset when something like that happens, and of course we're grieving and we're joining together, and people are gonna do something about it. Why aren't we doing anything about domestic violence? When we've got so many women that are being continually hurt, why aren't we acting out? Why aren't we saying this has to stop? 3 women a day, 1,000 a year, killed by their spouses, their boyfriends, their male partners, you know, or female partners. And so for 15% are men, we know that. But, you know, hi Beth Long, I'm so glad to see you. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I want to keep my videos informative, and I do want to stay away from the drama. It wears and tears on you, and after a while, it just gets to you. And all of us know that in, you know, the recent weeks, the drama and the hate and all that stuff has really just taken a toll on everybody. And I think let's talk about some things that aren't about social media drama, but are real life issues. You know, like the school shooting in Florida, like, you know, the things that happen in our homes or our friends' homes that we need to stop and be aware of. Let me see who has sent me. There she is. Okay, give me just a second. I got to get over to my Twitter, and send a couple people the link. Yeah. So we have some guests. Just a second. You're going to let me do what I want? Do what I say. Come to the lamp. Okay, we'll break the phone. Oh, it's the end. Okay, there we go. Yes. Here's the link. There was a young lady that contacted me, and I'm going to bring this up. She said that last week she told her story. Maybe it was in the chat. I don't know, because the names are different. Her Twitter names are different, and as opposed to the names, on that we use in the chat for anonymity. And she said somebody told her, "Good job. You here's a cookie." And I said, when somebody says here's a cookie, that means you did a good job. It's like a trophy. And we're never derogatory to people. I've never known anyone in here. Hi, Chloe girl. Hi, Judy Booty. I've never seen anyone be hateful or rude in here. So I don't know what happened. If somebody can fill me in on it, it'd be awesome. Hey, Tiff K. I have sent one link out, and let me check my Hangout. Hey, sweetheart. I love your profile picture, by the way. Can you hear me? I hear you. Do you want to have your camera on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't think she hears me. Do you hear me, sweetheart? Let me text her. Can you hear me, doll baby? Uh-huh. Can you hear me? Yes, you. Wait a minute. It's got... Let me click and unclick. You should be... Unmute yourself, honey. Are you muted on your laptop? Because I can't hear you, and I don't think anybody else can hear you either. Let me check. Check. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good now. Do you want your camera on? Do you mind your face being shown?
I don't think I'm ready to talk about it just yet.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Why don't you just hang out and we'll talk to people in the chat. And you let me know when you're ready. Okay. I'm not gonna push you, or I'm not like that.
All right. Thanks.
Let's see. Oh, it was MFW. You took it as a joke. Yeah, there was a lady last week that talked and told her story, and somebody said, "Here's a cookie," but that usually when we say "here's a cookie," that means you did a great job, or it means it to me. You deserve a cookie. But Southern slang and other slang, can be different. But I hate to think that we hurt somebody's feelings, and I never want to do that. So we need to make sure that does not happen again. For real. Yeah, Drama Queen, you took it as a joke. I would take that as a joke, because we say that when someone shares something personal, oftentimes we try to lighten it up, and sometimes we do it in the right way or the wrong way. It just depends on how the person takes it. But I don't want anybody's feelings ever to be hurt. This is a serious topic, and the woman deserves a trophy for surviving, and I will say that right now. There's too many stories where women are getting killed or almost killed. It's just too much. So, and that's why we're here. We're here to be supportive. But anywho, okay. Now I've sent you the link. Would anyone else like to join as well? If you do, you need to send me a DM on Twitter, or you can put your email. I don't know how to do it otherwise. I do everything on Twitter, and I don't have anything else. But I can put the link in the chat room if somebody wants to come in. But I want to put it in and then let somebody catch it and erase it. So that way we don't get somebody on here that we don't want. I'm trying to read the chat. Can you see the chat as well, honey? Yeah, Jane, it can be taken both ways depending on inflection. And that's one of the hard things with texting or being in a chat. We don't understand oftentimes the inflection that goes with it, how it's meant. We have to know the person. And of course, I know Katie, and she's not a mean person. She's got a wonderful heart, and I don't think she would have meant to hurt anybody's feelings. But so how are you doing today? We can chat on the. Did she drop off? I hope she's okay. she was a little nervous, and that's all right. You know what? This is a serious topic, and it's hard for people to talk, but she has the link. You have the link, and if you want to come back, let me send her a thing. Send her a message. But, Steph, this is the first time I've joined your live streams. I saw your video on borderline personality disorder. I found it very informative. Someone with me. You know, you're very welcome. I've gotten such positive comments on my personality disorder videos because I think most people approach them like there's something inherently wrong or unfixable or untreatable, or you know, it's taboo to be open or to even, first of all, to have something mentally, you know, a mental illness or a personality disorder, and it's not your fault. It's like having, I keep saying this, it's like having diabetes. You know, when you have a mental illness, you didn't ask for it. You didn't do anything to deserve it. Not like you went down to the store and said, I'd like to have some narcissistic personality disorder, please. And, you know, and came home and, you know, did it. That's, you know, it's not like you asked for these things. It's, mental illness is never the patient's fault. But the important thing we have to do is we have to understand it, and we have to encourage treatment. And nobody should ever be shamed or made to feel bad because they have something wrong that needs to be worked on, whether it's diabetes, whether it's an autoimmune disease. Like, I talk all the time about how I have RA, and I have fibro as well, and Sjogren's, and Raynaud's, which my Raynaud's is actually eased up. I took some Benadryl, but it makes my hands turn really white and really cold, and my feet too. It's really crazy. Sjogren's, let's see if that's scleroderma. My scleroderma test last time came back borderline, which was good. I was happy about that. But you know, everybody needs to be understanding about one another, whether, you know, no matter what they have going on, and get, you know, and encourage one another to get treatment and to be kind to one another about it. That's like the thing that I asked for it. Let me read the stream. Mel, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you watched. Thank you so much. You have, Jacob, you have borderline personality disorder. Do you all want, it seems like a lot of people are wanting to talk about, my thing is buffering and I don't know why. Let me turn this one off and see if I can turn the other one on. Hang on just a second. I swear. This pooter. Oh, she had to go because her young'uns were home. So, of course, we have to take care of our babies, don't we? So let me go to my channel and open up. It says I've got 3,000 subscribers on here. Did I get 3,000? Oh my Lord. I gotta check that out. If I hit 3,000, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Okay, let's see. Home. My channel. Takes a little bit. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. If you want to talk, if today is a day that people want to talk about mental health and different things going on, I'm happy to talk about that. If you want to talk about domestic violence, we can do that. I can change the title of this stream to just Friday Group. And we can talk about all sorts of different things. It does not bother me a bit. I love talking. I love learning about people. You know, I love exploring. I have 2,692 subscribers. Okay, but it keeps saying that I have 3,000. It's nuts. Okay, mute that. Let's see. Come on, bring the chat up, buddy. Of course it doesn't. On Chrome, it never brings the chat up. That's why I use. Oh, there it came. Woo! Okay. Let's see. So, would you all like to continue the discussion on domestic violence, or would you like to talk about something else? You let me know in the chat, and Jane, I feel the same way. Hello, Kitty. And that's the thing. It is nobody's fault that you have a personality disorder. Seriously. And the idea that people shame like teens when you're hitting about 17, 18, and that's when you usually settle in to your personality. But that's when borderline becomes prevalent. You see the traits, and and it's not your fault. You can't help it. You didn't ask for it. So why be shamed for it? Or any different mental illness. What people should instead do is say, okay, this is going on. Let's get you to the right person. Let's see what we can do to make your life easier and easier to handle and control things. And there are ways to work through different mental disorders. There are medications, there are therapies. I'm big on cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy. On my that. You probably hear me say that all the time. Or CBD and DBT on all of my descriptions. But psychoanalysis, regular, just sit and talk therapy. And but you have to get to someone who can help you. And if you're made to feel ashamed of yourself, then you're never going to seek help. You're going to be too afraid. You're going to go, no, I'm fine, and try to deal with it yourself. And oftentimes people self-medicate. They go into depressions. They get manic, and then they lose a job, or they do something to embarrass themselves, and then they're mortified later. They may hurt someone's feelings that they care about. They may hurt someone physically they care about. But, and it depends on which mental disorder you have, mental illness. If you don't understand what you have and how to treat it, and you don't understand yourself, that's a big thing, understanding ourselves. What motivates us, what makes us act the way we do. If we learn about ourselves, then we can do better to control things. We can take control of our emotions, and it makes life a lot easier. Okay, all right. Let me see. Proof. Oh, we're all praying. Hi, Jen. Okay. Would anyone like to come in and sit on panel and talk for a little while? We seem to have people with borderline personality disorder. We have several people. If you would like, I will put the link in the chat. Let's make sure. No, I don't, Joseph. I don't do online therapy. I have, I have an office. I have people. You have to go through the office. People who are agoraphobic or who are far away, we do use online for that. But no, I don't just randomly do online therapy. I don't take pay for that. No, it's a whole different ballgame, and that would be illegal to do. It's, and it's funny, that's one of the things that somebody accused me of. And find somebody that I've taken money from. Good luck. But no, I don't. And Steph, that's the problem. In the UK, I have a really dear friend who has gone through the mental health system in England. He lives in London. And all they wanted to do was throw drugs at him, and it destroyed his health. And instead of doing therapy, and that's all. And if they had gone back through, that's really what he needed. But I believe in therapy with medication. If they're going to give you medication, they need to give you therapy. I just think you can't do one without the other. Yeah. Jennifer, honey, you've got Cinderella on. Just don't turn your camera on. I'll tell you what, I'll put the Jennifer, I'll put you on the panel, and let's do this. You hop on, and then we'll talk about what's going on, and you can explain your situation, and just don't turn your camera on. Just turn your microphone on, okay? There's the Hangouts. If you want to be a part of the panel, go ahead and grab it, okay? Because I'm getting ready to. Thank you, Joseph. I hear that a lot. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. If I wasn't relatable, then I couldn't do my job well. Okay. So thank you. Yeah, Jennifer, just turn your camera off. Okay, there's the link. If you want to grab it, do. I'm getting ready to delete it. Okay. And hey, Beth, what's your thoughts on someone other than a psychiatrist prescribing psych meds specifically for teenagers? I say absolutely not, especially for teenagers. Because first of all, a teen's mind is changing. The only time a teen should be given psych meds, anything close to psych meds, is when they have epilepsy. And I'll get that out there. Epileptic medications often work as mood stabilizers. How the shit do I get that all there? Jane, do you know how to get rid of the Hangouts link? I don't want that sitting in there. But if they're under 18, their brain is not fully developed yet. Now, epileptic children are given Tegretol, Depakote, these different medications. They work beautifully. Not only will they stop the seizures, but they will turn your child into an angel. For the most part, they're great mood stabilizers, but they also change the brain chemistry. And that's a problem, because when they go off of them, if their epilepsy does not continue into adulthood and the doctor says, okay, we can take your child off the medications, well, what happens? It's been on the medication so long that the brain kind of rebounds. Kind of like after you've had an opioid addiction, you're in a lot of pain. Well, what happens is the child blacked out a lot of times to do that. And I found that interesting. But, when we were studying that, medicating kids, I don't even like, unless it's absolutely necessary, ADHD medications given in. And then only after there have been at least 2 rounds of testing for ADHD. You don't see it on your end? I put it in the chat. It was up ahead. But it will let me move. How do I remove mine? Do I just hit my name? I don't know what to do. Shit. Shoot, sorry. It won't let me remove it. Wait a minute. Remove. There it is. Wait a minute. Oh, I saw it. Okay, I'm removing that one. All right. But when children are hitting puberty, they're changing. Their brain chemistry is changing. They're getting testosterone. They're getting dopamine. They're getting estrogen. They're getting progesterone. And all this stuff is flooding their bodies. So they're going to act basically possessed from the time they're about 11, 12 until they get through it. And that's about 18 or so. And we know that. They're all over the place. If you've raised a teenage girl, you've gone through probably enough Kleenex and toilet paper to fill a landfill. I was awful. My daughter went through it. I'm sure my mother did the same thing. But all kids do. And, your brain is growing and it's changing. So to put something in there that's like an SSRI or an SRI or, any kind of like an antidepressant, that's going to change the way the brain handles making and regulating itself. So no. And I know a lot of physicians, they'll say, oh, we'll just put her, she's depressed, she's 16 and she's going through the blues and she's wearing all black, we'll put her on Paxil. Well, then you better leave her on Paxil for the rest of her life or something like that, an antidepressant, because you've just made changes to her brain chemistry and her brain is not working. That's kind of a pet peeve. I know kids that were put on medication very young. It used to be that if you were on ADHD medication as a child, you weren't eligible to join the military. Y'all know that? And neurologists they would prescribe willy-nilly, Adderall and all the different ones. There's about 15, 20 that are used now. Some are short, short term, they last 4 hours. Some are like 12 hours, the extended release. And then you give them one of the 4-hour ones, so it carries through until bedtime. And I'm like, you're dragging the crap out of your kid. ADHD kids, and I'm one. I have ADHD, you know, and yeah, I take Adderall, but I take it only when I need to concentrate. Don't take it every day. Um, you know, and yeah, I was a difficult child. I went from thing to thing to thing to thing, but that's okay. Like my grandparents knew how to handle me. They just said, go to the barn and play, and then come back, and we'll teach you how to crochet, and then cook, and then they always had activities for me, so I never wore down. You know, I was never a problem, and I never got into trouble. And the way to handle ADHD kids, it's hard, but you keep them going and keep positive reinforcement, no negative reinforcement, but positive. And you know, it's possible to do it without medication. But a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm just going to beat them every time they mess up." Well, no, that's just going to make it worse. That's just going to make them afraid of you now. So, but okay, well, I've gone on. Your son has ADHD, and I waited before I let him take any medication because I read articles where they were trying to classify them, but they can't unhang it. Exactly. You don't want your child to be affected for the rest of their lives by a decision you made, you know, for when they were little. You know, ADHD is not going to kill a child. I mean, for real. It may drive you as a parent crazy. You know, they may be running and going and doing and all of that, but it's manageable if, you know, and there are classes that train parents how to handle ADHD children. And we're learning now that we don't need to drug them because all it does is know people like that. They're like a zombie. We don't want that. But you need to move. Oh, honey, I sound tinny on this cheap thing. I may take it. Hey, DMC. It's right here at my mouth, but it's a cheap mic, unfortunately, and it does sound like I'm down in a thing. Sweetie Bessie, I was told. Hey, little sushi. You tried therapy and a lot of other avenues before I let his doctor go. See, that's smart. I waited until his grades were affected that I let him, and now he only takes it. See, that's the smart way to do it because then his body can rest. You know, that's why I take the Adderall only at certain times, like when I'm writing. I do some writing for a marketing firm, and it kind of gets my mind on other things. I like to write them. I like to write for just fun, and but anyway, that gets me back into my own mindset when I used to do marketing and advertising. But when I do it, I need to take the Adderall so I can concentrate. But I don't take any other time. I find if I take it all the time, it's not as effective. And you know, changing the brain chemistry. So it's good that you're taking him off of it when he's not in school, because when he needs it, he's got it, and he doesn't. You know, Steph, that's a real problem that mental health is lower on the list of priorities than anything else. You can die just as quickly from a mental illness as you can from heart disease. You know, I hate to see things like happen. But oh, that's right. I am so sorry you had the funeral, and my prayers and condolences to the family. Oh, you were told yesterday that I'm doing awesome. Yes, you are. And I'm very proud of you. You know, Hello Kitty, it was like that for a while here. Borderline patients especially. And I'll be honest, I didn't like treating borderline patients either because it was not because I didn't like them as people, but because I never felt like I was getting anywhere. And, you know, when you're in a job of any sort, whether you're an electrician, whether you're, you know, a stay-at-home mom, whether you're cooking, you like to feel like when you put the effort in that you get results. And a lot of times with personality disorders such as BPD, NPD, well, with NPD they don't come in, but unless they're dragged. But borderline patients especially, it's really hard because the patient has to work just as hard as the therapist does. And still smiling. You spend all this time and you invest, and I've never been able to separate myself completely from anyone that I worked with. And anybody that's worked with me knows that you know, I get involved. I want to know about their lives, and I get emotionally invested. I can't just turn that off. I'm not one of those people. And but with borderline patients, it's really hard because you work and you work and you work, and it doesn't seem like they're getting any better. It doesn't seem like they want to get better sometimes. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just depends on the person. It depends on where their mindset is. It depends on where they are in their life and what kind of environment they live in, what kind of a home life they have, their socioeconomic situation. All of these things play a factor into working with a borderline patient. And so the therapist doesn't have total control. It's the patient does. Every patient has control, but the whole idea of being a therapist is that you can affect change. You can help affect change. And with personality disorders, it's very, very difficult. That's why a lot of people, when they begin working with, say, someone who's schizoaffective, there's medication involved, but you also need therapy. But people who are schizoaffective or schizophrenic, or they don't like to take their medicines. They don't want to do things. They like the way they feel when they're manic or when they're feeling good and they're feeling light and they've got all this energy and stuff. But they don't understand at the time that there's going to be a crash, and that's with a lot of different illnesses. But just now I work with more people who have personality disorders, and I enjoy the challenge, but I like getting to know people, and I like listening, and I like doing dialectical behavioral therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, and that's where my interests lie. That's why I make videos on it, so people will understand better and not make people feel bad. But Steph, it is hard. You need a professional. You need a psychiatrist that will give you a good therapist, a good reputable therapist. And unfortunately, with the universal healthcare, like you all got people who are dedicated and love the profession are lumped in and paid the same as people who really don't give a crap. They just, okay, they'll listen to you and they'll sit down and might be doing the crossword puzzle. And I have actually known therapists who admitted to sitting there and going, and they're doing a crossword puzzle. And they're getting paid the same as somebody who's actually working and listening. And that's the problem with, when everybody gets paid the same. People who give a crap, eventually get frustrated because the people who don't are making the same amount of money and, seeing the same amount of patients faster because they don't care and they get done early and they run through. Sucks. And Stephanie, and there are meds for the concurrent or the dual diagnoses. If you have BPD, if you have anxiety or anything like that, there are meds for that, and there is therapy. Dialectical behavioral therapy was made specifically for borderline patients. So if anybody tells you that again, say, I want to see a DBT specialist. Dialectical behavioral therapy, that's the key to it. And if you want to learn more about it, there are apps that teach it to you. There are books. Read up on it. It's, you can work some on your own, but you really need a good professional. Oh gosh, Jacob, I'm so sorry. Jacob, in your area, there may be like most counties throughout the U.S. and different states or parishes, they have like mental health clinics. Call them and see if they have group therapy. And if you're having ideations like suicidal ideations, or if you're that manic, go there. They will be forced to treat you, insurance or not. They will probably put you inpatient for a little while to get you under control. If you're that manic, you need to be medicated. Manic episodes are dangerous. They're dangerous to you. Just as severely depressive episodes can be dangerous. So find out where your mental health clinic, your county mental health clinic is, like, and talk to them and, explain that you need to do something because you don't want to go down that path anymore. And, maybe they can recommend a group. You can have group therapy, have one-on-one therapy. There are different things that, places offer. Not every place doesn't offer the same thing, unfortunately. And, but at least reach out and see if somebody. It is crippling for the ones who care. If I could do more, I would. I talked to my husband a long time ago. I said, we've got all this land. I would love to build a mental health center. He said, absolutely not. He said, this is the quiet place. This is the place where you're away from work. We're able to relax. He said, if you had, a clinic right here, I mean, even because I was like, it could be a non-for-profit, and there are ways to do that. He said, you would be there all the time. I would never see you. You would never rest. And he said, and you'd wear yourself out and you'd be dead in 10 years. Can cognitive therapy help? Yes, it can. Cognitive behavioral therapy is really wonderful. And that's why, and when I first learned about it was when I was in school, of course. It was, I think we studied that the last semester of my BS. And DBT. And then I was like, okay, there's a center in Pennsylvania where they teach CBT. And I like working with them in conjunction. And, because it's the dialectical behavioral therapy, if you've ever been through it, is talking and assessing your actions and talking and getting the thoughts and your thoughts to bear. But cognitive behavioral therapy is more about your actions and the things you do and the way you plan. It's kind of hard to explain unless you're doing it, but that's kind of the thing. DBT therapists are hard to find in the UK, especially if you can't afford to go private, but there are some apps and they've helped me a lot. Good. I know there's one for iPhone, and I don't know if there are any for Androids, but, it would. CBT stuff, try it. Get in there and then see if anybody that does CBT also does DBT. Because a lot of times they won't list it because they don't want to be overwhelmed with people requesting that. But if you get in there and you start showing that in the cognitive behavioral therapy groups that you're learning and you're growing and you're trying and you're dedicated, to working on yourself and, being in control. That's what, that's all therapy is. It's being in control of our thoughts and our actions and our emotions. Thoughts, actions, emotions. And if you can show in a CBT class that you're doing that, and you can make it known that you're looking for someone that does CBT, they may pick you up and say, okay, we'll do this, and you never know. Because oftentimes, like I say, oftentimes people won't tell. The mirror trick, yeah. The mirror trick that Proof is in the Pudding is talking about daily affirmations, and but it's not once a day. I advise a lot of patients, a lot of clients that I have to put mirrors. Everybody's got a bathroom mirror, and you've got probably one in your bedroom, but I advise putting mirrors everywhere at eye level, different places all through the house. So when you're walking through your house, whether you're walking in the door, out the door, going towards the bathroom, going towards the bedroom, you keep seeing your reflection. And every time you see your reflection, you stop and say, damn, I'm good looking. I like this about myself. I like that about myself. I did that well today. You say something positive. Because think about it. When we're trained, especially women, are trained to look in the mirror and find our flaws because our mothers teach us, and this is through the millennia. Our mothers teach us to look in the mirror, find the flaw, and fix it, whether with makeup or the way we tilt our head or smile or the way we hold our shoulders back. Who had to walk with a book? I did, and you know, and it was always about keeping your shoulders back, your chest up, and your head exactly straight, and that was the proper posture. And this is the way you were supposed to sit too. And you had to cross your legs at the ankles and all of that. But we also looked in the mirror and we'd say, I hate this, and I need that fixed, and I wish I had a nose job, and I wish my lips were fuller, and I wish that. We always said negative things to ourselves. I'm too fat. I'm too thin. My hair's not long enough. My hair's too long. I wish my hair was a different color. When we beat these negative things into our brain over and over and over again, we start to believe it. And if instead you can go by the mirror and go, hey, you look good today. You know, just something that simple. Gosh, I really like my hair color. I like the way my hair turned out today. I have pretty eyes. And you acknowledge it. And you keep telling yourself positive things. It could be the littlest thing like, this shirt looks good on me. And it's not being cocky. People think, oh, you're cocky. You think too much of yourself. You know what? You should think more of yourself than you do anybody else. Okay? You should love yourself first. Okay? Well, we say, if the Christians say we love God, we love ourselves, we love our children and spouse, you know, we do it all together. But you know what? If you don't love you, nobody else is going to love you either, because you're not all together and full and complete. So you have to have your self-confidence, and you have to feel good about yourself. And there are too many things, too many people, and too many events in this world that make us feel like crap about ourselves. So start with the mirror. Start looking in the mirror. You know, 17 Magazine and Cosmo, I would like to burn that. I can't say burn those buildings down because somebody will get me and say, oh, I'm threatening terrorism. But, you know, they do more to hurt women's self-esteem than I think any other magazine in the world. First of all, and Vogue. First of all, those women are not real. They are photoshopped all the shit. And I remember when Whitney Houston was on the cover of 17 Magazine. I'm dating myself. Rest in peace, Whitney. Yeah, you were thin. She was so thin and long-legged, and, you know, and all those girls were. And then on Cosmo, I remember, you know, all those supermodels. Oh my God. And I couldn't figure out how they all had big boobs, but were so skinny, you know, but they never looked like they had fake boobs. They looked like they had regular boobs. And none of them had a butt back then in the 80s. And, you know, and then, you know, and I got 17 Magazine from the time I was 12 on. And then I started getting Cosmo at 17. Cosmo is full of shit. How to love yourself. 10 ways to fix all your flaws. How to have the best sex ever. You know, like, and they do this every month. They make us feel like we're bad lovers. We're bad wives. We're not sexy. We need to fix everything. And you know what? Because their advertisers are paying them to say that. Ooh, we've got a new skin cream that's $500 in a pot. We need to say, oh, you need to really work on your Crohn's feet prevention. And then if you're starting to get them, you really need to work on it. Do you know that the microcellular size for eye creams and regular creams now, face creams like Olaplex and all that, it's no difference. There's no difference than, you know, there's no reason to buy a $500 face eye cream or face cream or serum, anything like that. My serums are good, but they're not expensive. They're like $25, and they have the same thing in them as the ones that cost 10 times as much. And look at the vitamins on my skin, and I feel good about myself, and I don't have a lot of wrinkles. You know what? Not having a lot of wrinkles has more to do with not being in the sun and having good genetics. But Cosmo and 17, they just make you feel like shit. Like you're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough. And I remember, didn't 17, Jane, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't 17 have that thing where they would have the diary, and they would have the girl that was never good enough, or she hated this, or her friends were mad at her, and it was all like this stuff. Wasn't it a diary thing? And they gave this blasé advice about, you know, how to make your friends like you and how to get the boy of your dreams. And it was all BS. I was so frustrated with it. I was like, that would never work. And it didn't. And now I think back about those things, and I'm like, we were all so stupid. We poured over those. When the new 17 Magazine came out, I remember in high school, we'd take it to school. We all get in trouble. But I had no idea what airbrushing was, but I knew those magazines had girls with no pores, no zits, no hair out of place. Yeah, we didn't, back then we had no clue that there was airbrushing. We thought everybody's picture was the same as ours. We didn't understand lighting and angles. We also didn't understand that those pictures might have well been painted. Such crap. And all the girls were photoshopped to look so thin. And we were joking about this the other day. Wait a minute, I missed a comment. Yeah, see, yeah. Stephanie, I am so sorry you were bullied. Hi, country lady. We were talking about bullying. We were talking about things we remembered from the 80s. Jane and I were. We remember the cabbage diets, where you ate nothing but cabbage soup. I think I did that for an entire summer, and all I did was pass out. And then one time I was trying to get to a prom dress, and I just drank unsweetened tea with lemon and a little sweet and low in it. I was passing out. But I got into my prom dress, so I thought it was great. And everybody I knew threw up. We all starved ourselves, and then when we finally did eat, we go to the bathroom and throw up. And I did that. I had an eating disorder from the time my friend told me about it when I was about 13. I mean, I didn't come up with it myself. My friends taught me. And we thought it was all normal. Hell, Joan Rivers was doing it. It was like that was the thing to do. You worked out to Jane Fonda, and we were joking. I said I went through 2 of those VHS tapes, and then there were all of these shows like the 20-minute workouts. They were on different cable networks. 20-minute workout. You work out so hard, and I would do that, and then I'd rest for a little bit, and then I'd go do another one, and I'd take the VCR and tape them. I did so much aerobics. I actually was certified as an aerobics instructor, and in my 10th grade gym class, I taught aerobics. And anybody who went to school with me and had me in gym class probably remembers poor Coach Ray. God love his soul. He passed away a while back. I love him to death. He was so kind. But I asked him, I said, can I teach aerobics? Because we all need to lose weight. We were getting ready for prom. It was 10th grade. And of course, I had a boyfriend who was going to prom. And I went to like 5 proms. And he said, yeah, sure, I need to lose weight, because he had one of those big old beer bellies. So I brought a little boombox, and we did it. We worked out. I had all the basketball players and football players and everybody, and all the girls were working out twice as hard as the guys were, because we were all trying to get in those damn dresses. But I'm so glad aerobics is over. That was crazy. That was a nightmare. You walked by a cabbage display just today and audibly said, Blair. The lady got the giggles over it. She's old enough to remember the cabbage soup diet too. I'm telling you, whoever came up with that damn cabbage soup diet deserves to be punished. They need to be punished by every teenage girl and every woman, because my mother was on it too. All of us that suffered because of that stupid diet, and you couldn't have any salt in it. It would have been different if we could have had salt. Oh, but yeah, I'd like to find who came up with that and just smack the shit out of them. You were never bothered about your weight because I never paid attention to magazines, really. So I think if it weren't for the bullying, I'd have been fine. I'm bothered now by my weight. Honey, you love yourself the size you are. Let me tell you, I lost 200 pounds. I had gastric bypass because I'd gotten so fat because my diabetes was out of order. My husband loved me just as much, 200 pounds heavier than he does me now. And I think it's because I like who I am now. And I don't care what size I am. I don't care what size I get into as long as I'm happy in it. And I feel good in it, and I look good. I feel like I look good in it. And just remember, you can always, the bigger you are, the more you can accessorize. I used to laugh and say that all the time, and it was true. I just wore more jewelry. But the whole idea of being ashamed of your weight or anything else about your body, it's so cruel that we're taught that, not to love ourselves. That we look at someone and go, you're fat. Or we look at someone else and go, you really need to work on your legs, your thighs. Or, we tell somebody else, you need to do something with your hair. How mean is that? We just need to love each other. And if we can't love each other, just shut up, right? Love yourself. If people love themselves, they're not mean to each other. And I found that the people who, like couples, when I treated them, and they come in for a session, and the ones who fought the most were the ones that were most miserable with themselves, with their own behavior, their own character. They were unhappy in their life, and they were taking it out on their spouse. And that's exactly what happens when we start making fun of other people. It's if we're not happy with ourselves, we want somebody else to be miserable too. Misery loves company. That saying is true. It applies. Okay. Yep. Oh, Kathy Smith. Oh, I remember her. Step aerobics. Lord God. Remember that plastic step that we all paid a fortune for? And my dad was like, really? I could have built a wooden box. I'm like, yeah, but I need this one. And it was so expensive. And who had a Thigh Master? Anybody? Who had a Thigh Master? I used that Thigh Master every night while watching TV. I'd sit there and just work and work and work. My inner thighs never done. It's all right now. I don't care. My inner thighs can be flabby. I don't care. The difference between cabbage soup and boiled cabbage. Okay, the cabbage soup diet had tomatoes in it, cabbage, onion, and water, and you got no seasonings, no salt, and you just boiled it, and you ate that soup, and you ate nothing else until you were the weight you wanted. So basically, you starved because that stuff. Oh, and you got diarrhea really bad. It went straight through you. Hi, Beauty in the Berg. Oh, I love your name, by the way. You've watched my videos and enjoyed them. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know. Jane Thigh-Master, I'm telling you. Suzanne Summers is still living off the money she made off of us with that damn Thigh-Master. Oh, gosh. And she's a nut. She was on some show. I think it was Kathy Griffin's The D-List. They went to dinner at her house or something, and she was like, all these vitamin supplements and all this stuff and all that. I don't know. It was crazy. I just laughed. I was like, okay, she's just as pretty as she was when she was on that show. I don't think she was acting on Three's Company, but I like people like that. I like people that are kind of flighty and little bit, as they call them, crunchy, granola. I loved it. You had a Thigh Master too, Drama Queen? I wonder where my Thigh Master is. I could probably eBay the crap out of those. And the Ab Lounge, oh my gosh, I remember that. How funny is that? We all had that crap. If sadness had a smell, it would be cabbage soup. Amen. Amen. I could not. There's no way. Somebody had cabbage rolls at a dinner we were at, and they looked beautiful. And I thought, there's just no way I can't do it. That cabbage soup diet still 20 years. And it stuck with me. Oh, that's funny. Well, have we run everybody off? Who else here? We got 16 watch. That's all right. We'll probably have lots of people that come back and watch later on. But we really haven't had anybody share a story about their domestic violence. If anyone wants to come on the panel, we're happy to talk. I think we've just been led by the chat. Exactly. As long as your health isn't at risk, then be happy with what you've got. I think if we could all be happy with what we've got, we'd all be a lot happier. We wouldn't be coveting things. I'm Christian, and I talk about being Christian a lot. But one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not covet. Isn't it? Hey, honey. I'm so glad my fudge is here. Yes, absolutely, Stephanie. Emotional and mental abuse is domestic violence. It's a form of domestic violence. Listen, you can hurt somebody just as much emotionally as you can with a fist. Bruises heal. Sometimes what people say and put in your head and make you feel, but it takes years and years to get over that. That definitely is abuse, and it's violence. Steph, do you want to come on, honey? Because you are more than welcome to come on the. It definitely is. It hurts you, and it is violence. And you know what? I want to read something. I've got a couple things to read. I've forgotten about it. I'm glad she reminded me. The young lady that was here, she said I was welcome to share her story. You're welcome to use my name, picture, and my channel link in case someone needs to talk to me. Now, her name's Denise Gomez, Denice. Follow that, Denise. It's Denise Gomez. She said I could put her channel link up, and I'll put it in the description. I'll try to remember to put it in the description because I'm terrible. But she talks about, if you want to go to her channel, she talks about her struggle and the things that she's been through. And she's wanting me to do a live stream earlier in the week, and I may do that. Maybe it'll be easier for people to come in, and we'll have a larger audience, which I'm not worried about the audience. I like the quality, not the quantity, But she said that I could tell her story. Wait a minute, I've got to get to it. She didn't write it out for me, but I do want to send you to her channel, so I'll put a link down below. There was another young lady. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to find it. I swear I am. She had a story. She wanted me to share it with you, and she said that she didn't feel comfortable coming in and saying everything, but she said that she wanted me to talk about it, and I was like, okay, I'm fine with doing that. This young lady shouldn't live anywhere close. When I say that these broadcasts, like the last one got like 800 views, and I was surprised, but then, I realized that there are people everywhere that will tune in and watch afterwards and not comfortable. But yes, come on, definitely come on to the to my panel, baby. But she was telling me she was upset that I was using domestic violence, the term, to describe things other than just physically trying to be killed or physical abuse. That she didn't feel like stalking and harassment and all of that. She should be termed under domestic violence. And I listened to her, but I said, you need to understand that these things are just as dangerous. You could be killed in your home by, say, your spouse, but you could also be killed outside by someone who's stalking and harassing you. So that's what we're talking about. But I'm going to read what she shared with me, and I'm going to keep her name private. She said, I'm a survivor of both a stalker, the father of my children, and domestic violence, my partner after I left my kid's dad. My kid's dad didn't start stalking me until after I left him, and he got diagnosed with bipolar and stalked 20 years later. I ended up leaving my home country because of that situation, but I left with my abusive partner. That's one of the things we've talked about is once you accept abuse in your life, you think you deserve it, and you're more likely to be with the next person that has a tendency to abuse you as well. And that's bad. But I left with my abusive partner. He was pretty bad. He would whip my thighs with chains for things like not doing the dishes properly. I used to lie over my kids so he couldn't get to them. He threw knives at me. On one incident, he threw a knife, just missed my daughter's throat, and it ended up slicing my foot open to the bone and severing all my tendons. My daughter saved my life on this one. I would know the violence was coming, and as you said in your video, I would push it home until just to get it over, because I felt like the sooner it came, the less violent it would be. He smoked marijuana heavily. I would go through cycles of trying to give it up, and that would be the worst time. I would beg him not to give it up because I knew what it would mean for me and the kids. And then she goes on. She says, it is important. My ex used to tell me I was only able to survive because of him. He never begged me to stay. But when somebody tells you that you're helpless without them, you're no staying because you think you have no where else to go, and nobody will listen. But that was the most of it. She said, I feel more for my kids. I will never go to counseling for it until they are better, which I tried to talk her into going to counseling first, and then maybe they'll follow. My kids have kids now. I apologize to them every time we talk for allowing that in their life. My daughter's somewhat forgiving, but my son never will. My son hits women now, and that is something I will always be guilty for. That breaks my heart. And, hearing that and hearing other stories, it brings back all those feelings that I had when I was going through my situation with a violent man. And I know that you all listening probably feel the same way. It brings it up for you too. And I just feel for her. And she's with a loving man now. She's with someone who loves her and is kind to her, but her children have been affected. Jacob Robbins, I would really like you to come on panel and share. I'll put the link back in if you'd like. And just don't turn on the video camera. Don't turn on the camera. And you can talk and, get it all out nice. I'm very happy to listen. So, yeah, John McQueen, that one really, it got me. And there are several others, and I have to find them, but that one took my breath. Thinking about laying over your children. I remember, in my situation, my whole thing was protect my child, and I would scream for her to run, get out, run. And I just didn't want her to get hurt. He could do whatever he wanted to me to still hurt my baby. Come on, Stephanie, means to come on panel, and you'll be in a little box. You'll show up in a little box on the Google Hangout screen, and just don't turn your camera on if you're not comfortable, and you just talk, and we can hear you, and you and I can have a conversation. I'm going to put the link in there. Jacob, if you don't feel ready today, you can come on next time. There's the Google Hangout link. Stephanie, come on, share your story. And, as we go through this, we all learn from one another. That's the amazing thing, is we learn how other people experienced things, but we also learn how to handle it. We learn how to take someone else's story, and from beginning to end, from the beginning to how the resolution came along. And if we're in that situation, or if someone else is in that situation, we learn better how to handle things. So, Steph, okay, I will call you Steph. You just come on. All you have to do is hit the Hangouts if you want, and Jane's exactly right. Jane's always good at explaining. DMC, my biggest fear for my daughter was that she would grow up and be in an abusive relationship, and unfortunately that's what happened. But she was wiser than I. She got out of it quickly, and hopefully as we share our stories and we unburden ourselves, we also teach our children and we teach others. I want to make sure that we have a positive impact. From something negative, make something positive. And Jacob, you take your time. And, we're here. I actually don't think my mic works. I've had problems with my mic with Hangouts, but if I get it fixed, I'm happy to come on another time. Okay, sweetheart. Either way, when your kids get spared, you realize how lucky you are. And subsequent, like in my relationship now with my husband bends over backwards. He's better to my daughter than her dad is. I mean, honestly, he's so good to her. He loves her like she's his own. And I'm grateful for that, because, there aren't, you don't trip over wonderful men who are willing to you know, be a great dad to your teenage daughter. We celebrated 9 years together this Valentine's Day, which is unreal. I'm grateful that I have a man who's good to me and my daughter. So, yeah. Okay, Kelly. I didn't know whether you wanted me to or not. I just wanted to make sure. Steph, sometimes my mic works better. Sometimes if I unplug, people can hear me better. I don't know. So I know I sound kind of like a robot. Do I still sound like a robot on here? And and I'm trying to make sure that I read the chat because when I put this up in the live stream, of course, they can't see the chat. And I think the most important part of the conversation is the chat. I'm really glad that we can come together, and a lot of people are afraid to come into. I've had a couple, well, more than a couple people say, I'd like to join, but I don't want my name in the chat because somebody might see it, or I'll listen after the stream gets posted, and I'm like, okay, that's fine too, and as long as there's support being given and it's positive, and that's all that matters to me. Mm-hmm. Oh, you getting your baby to go to your sister's. Oh, that's wonderful. Get a night. For a lot of people, I remember the first time I came live online, but you have to understand I started working on radio at like 19. I had a 6 to midnight shift. My name on the radio was Kay Fredericks. My first husband came up with that. I don't know where, but he did. But I had a 6 to 9 shift on a radio station, and I always loved it. I've always talked, and I've always been a performer. So, on the Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, of course, I didn't teach dance, and I went to school during the day, and I taught at my studio several days a week, and it depended on the time of the year, how many days a week. But and then I also worked another job, and then I worked radio. I've been one of those people that was a hustler. I always had my hustle going, getting the money coming in. I've never been afraid of hard work, but I always enjoyed radio. I thought, God, this is great. I play music and I talk to people. This reminds me, and I had DJ jobs and fill-in jobs, and I did production. Production is when you do like all the liners in the radio, or you do the commercials. And you've probably heard my voice on national commercials and didn't know it was me. And you hear me now and think that I sound very familiar. Hi, welcome to Leggett. All of this stuff. My voice has been used everywhere. So, and I've been on a lot of syndicated shows just as a guest, just to be funny. So, but I always enjoyed that. So getting on live stream was fun. And I was like, oh, this is great. I think the first live stream I was ever on was Peter Mons. And I was on his You Now. And I was being sassy. It was late in the evening, and I think I was losing my mind, but I was just being silly. And then I went on with Katie and Lord, I've been on camera with Nick Snyder and Dustin and you name them. But I always felt very comfortable in front of a camera or in front of a microphone. But I understand that other people aren't. And one of the biggest fears, I think the number one phobia is speaking in public. And I can't imagine that because I've never had stage fright, but I've been on stage since I was like 30 singing, and my great aunt Muncie pushed me up in front of the church and said, "Sing, Bethy," and I was hooked. But I understand that it takes a lot of bravery. That's why I say you don't have to turn the camera on. You can just talk, and then it's like you and I are just having a conversation, and it's easy. It's easier than just feeling like you're out there in the middle of nowhere talking. So. Oh, Jane, I remember, you probably remember when karaoke was really big and they were giving out huge prizes. This was like in the early 90s. And I would find out because, we did a lot of advertising for them, different radio stations. And all of my friends, when they would be, going down the road to a city down the way. I mean, I've gone all the way to Nashville and, Richmond and Charleston. South, I think I've gone to Charlotte and I've gone to Atlanta, but they would have all these prizes, and they would be anywhere from like I think in Nashville I won $1,000 at a club, and then the most I ever won I think was $5,000. But I won a Star Search thing and on there, but I didn't win. And respect by Aretha Franklin and nailed it, and then this black lady came on and she sang this hymn and she was doing trills and she gave me cold chills. She was so good. It was fine with me. I was like, okay, I haven't won this, but I paid a lot of bills with karaoke money, and his radio voice was always on even when see, Jane, there are guys that do that because they think they're being suave. Welcome to such and such show. And I'm sure that you know some YouTube creators that go, welcome to the such and such show, and blah, blah, blah. And they sound like bad 80s DJs, the kind that we didn't hire anymore. But my radio voice was always like this. It was just light, and I tried to lose my accent and speak very properly. And I had one manager say, you sound like a Southern Valley girl. It's a very odd combination. I'm like, well, that's as close as I can get to a non-accent, to Midwestern accent. He's like, okay, whatever, it works. But, oh, well, thank you, Blonde. But I would notice that the guys that were on air, I never thought anything about it. Okay, I'm me no matter what I'm doing, whether I was digging a ditch or on the radio or on doing a TV commercial or whatever. And like my daughter started doing commercials before. And so it was kind of a normal part of life. And we didn't think anything about it. People would come and say, oh, I heard you were on the radio all day today. And I'd be like, yeah, that's my job. Not think that much of it. Or if I sang a jingle or, I was in a singing competition and somebody was there and they saw me win something or whatever, I would just say, thank you, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's just me, but, and Madeline's the same way, my daughter. But it was just, the cast thought they were superstars. You would have thought, when they came into the building, I remember this one guy, Chris Mabe, and it's really funny because I have another friend named Chris Mabe. But he was Chris Mann on one station and Chris Mabe on the other, and they were competing stations. And he would drive. He had one of those little cars, little Fiero or something like that. And he would drive from one to the other, and he was always late to our station. And it was just really funny. He was a disc jockey, and he made barely over minimum wage. DJs don't make shit. The money's in sales. And but he was flying in there. And he was a short little fella too. And I'd say, you match your car. Little man, little car. And he'd say, oh, shut up. And anyway, he would treat women like I'm the star. You should worship me. And I would just laugh. I'd be like, she can't look up to you. She's got to look down. She's got hands on. But yeah, so the guys thought that they were just celebrities. And I don't know. I got a kick out of it. I was like, okay, turn it off. Because then they talk normal when they talked on the phone to me. Because I'd like, you need to stop that. I know it's put on. But it was fun working in radio. There's always something going on. Both sides, sales and the production, you got to be really creative in the sales and marketing part of the ads. Figuring out campaigns for different companies and, slogans and taglines and, how many commercials to put where. And, and I got better at it the older I got. When I first started out, I didn't know what I was doing, bad training. But then I got really good at writing commercials. And I was like, this commercial needs to go in drive time, and this needs to go morning drive, and this needs to go in evening drive, and let's put one at lunch that's just like a 15-second ad. saying, we got food here. You sure you want some? You want some? You know, and I had all sorts of shit going on everywhere. And I made good money, to be honest. And I enjoyed it. But it wears you out after a while. Ask anybody who's been, advertising sales with radio, whether it's radio and television. And I did all three. I did newspaper and radio, and I never got into internet because when I was doing it, internet wasn't. I mean, we all got online, we all had email, but nobody could figure out how to track internet marketing. Now they track it well, but you didn't know how many people were visiting your site. You had to guess. Click on this if you like this in this station, or pick your favorite DJ or whatever. And that was really the only way, and it wasn't accurate because everybody didn't do what you asked them to, of course. But yeah, it burns you out. And that's when I said, you know what, I think I want to go back to school. And that's it. And I enjoy what I do now. But and psychology and sales go together really well. Like I said, I work for a marketing company, and I do writing for them. I do a lot through the week, but I love it. But the whole psychology of it, if you understand the target demographic that you're after, then it all plays in and makes you better at writing. Oh, you saw a Nissan Pulsar today. Oh my God, let me tell you. Yeah, he loved having folks recognize his voice. That's why he was always using his radar. Yeah, people come up and they go, "Oh my gosh, you sound so familiar." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on the radio," and I'd be like, I do commercials and spots on the radio. I work for such as that's where I've heard it, and it never gave me a thrill. But the guys, I don't know what you just thought it made them grow a couple inches. That's all I can say. But and they all wanted to be DJs. They never wanted to be sales reps. They were poor as hell and sleeping in like one bedroom apartments with a mattress on the floor. We got one DJ to come up from Florida, and he was really a good DJ. He was a pain in the ass. But we got him to come up for so little money because he was starving to death in Jacksonville. And he came up, and he was great. But we didn't have to pay him anything. We paid for his apartment. The boss negotiated to pay his apartment and his utilities. And I think give him like $150 a week. And he's like, yeah, because it was a bigger station, and he was a big fish in a small pond instead of a small fish in a big pond. And he thought he would hit the jackpot because he didn't have to worry about his lights getting turned off anymore. He told me that one time. I was like, why don't you go into sales? Because he had a good personality when he wanted to. And I'm thinking, I'm supporting a husband that doesn't work, second husband, 2 kids, and making all the bills and have enough left over to where we can go on vacation sometimes. And, of course, I was working a second job as well. And I was in theater. But, yeah. And I'm like, why would you want to be a DJ when you can be in sales? Bye, Kelly. I'm sorry it's been such a crappy day for you, and my condolences to your family. I'm really sorry. My prayers are with you all. I just want you to know that. We love you. Hi, sweetheart. I hate that. I hate to hear when somebody passes away. We love you. There's Debbie. Debbie, honey, can we not talk on him? I really just. This is, man. DMC's Debbie. DMC's really a good person, and she's a friend of mine. Oh, he was also the producer for the radio station, so he did better money. Yeah, the producer on that side. If you're going to be a DJ, be the producer. Be either a production manager, station manager, buy-in, do something like that. Oh, okay. Debbie, I'm reading your comment. I'm gonna let you all discuss that there, and because I don't want that on the chat with me saying anything about it, but go ahead and discuss it. And so Jane, he probably could afford to pay his rent. Oh, he wanted to get married. Yeah, don't blame you. I don't think, I got married so young and, became a mother young. And I wish I'd have waited a lot of times. But then there are times that I'm like, you know what? I had experience early, and I'm glad. Hey. I apologize for the dog barking. Some lady left a nasty message. Every now and then I get a message from somebody who's, I guess, a dog hater. She's like, you're one of those ladies with those yappy little dogs that annoy everybody. I'm like, this is my house. This is my stream, and those are my dogs. You're coming to my place, and my dogs could be yappy in my house all they want. I only take them out very quiet. But I people get offended when my dogs show up or if my dogs yap, and I'm just like, we'll go to another channel. But anyway, that's my stalker, darling. It's okay. I understand, Debbie. And sometimes things don't need to be explained fully in a stream that are discussed elsewhere. But I appreciate you looking out. But she's a really good person, and but it's okay. It'll all straighten out. You know what? I appreciate. No, don't leave. I don't want you to leave. I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that I have people who care about me. Wait a minute, I gotta take a drink. Say the devil's name and choke. Woo! No, Debbie, stay. Please stay. I am very flattered and I'm very appreciative that I have people who care, and I appreciate that. I really do. And through this whole situation, I've been very lucky that people have stood up for me and said, hey, if that's a lie, that's a lie. There have been more stories, and I don't want to get into it, but I have heard more stories about myself than are in the Bible. And I'm just like, and it's all coming from the same source. But I don't understand why they care. I don't understand why I'm the target. I don't understand why anybody gives a shit. I'm just the lady who sits in her kitchen and talks about psychology and self-esteem and, self-awareness and, stopping domestic violence. And, I talk about stuff to try to make the world a better place, and apparently it offends people. I'm getting my kitchen done. I'm going picking out all my stuff. Well, we picked it out last weekend, but we're going to pick it up, I think, this weekend if I can make a decision, because I have to make a decision on whether I want light still or dark still. But yeah, Jane, I wish you would not. And Debbie, I love you, and Kelly, I love you, and no, don't, honey. I wish you wouldn't leave. Just stay. And I just don't want to discuss any of the negative people because they don't deserve it. I want to lift people up, not tear them down. And I don't know. Right, Debbie, honey, get in touch with her. I can put you all together on Twitter, and my dogs they're just going around and out and around. I'll put you all together on Twitter, and then you all can talk, and that way, maybe you all can hash it out. But yeah, I'd like all of that just deleted because it doesn't need to be fodder or anything else. God knows, I'm so sick of all this. But there are too many good people in this world to let one body. I'm Okay, I'll put you all together, honey. We'll do that, but you know, I think the point that we all need to get across is, you know, leaving the negative behind and just keeping the positive with us. You know, and not letting the negative affect us. Not today, Satan. You know? But thank you, Steph. She said you're a very comforting person. I feel safe here, even though this is my first time. Thank you. I appreciate it, Jane. Steph, that's always my goal, is to give people a calming atmosphere where they can discuss things. And you know, you'll find that when this live stream goes up on YouTube, there'll be lots of comments, there'll be lots of people watching. You know, we talk about lighthearted things, but we also talk about serious subjects. And you know, we haven't had a lot of stories like the first time we had quite a few stories shared. But you know, today we've been talking about self-esteem and doing affirmations and loving yourself, and that's important. All of these things are important. You know, we need to be good to each other. We need to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. You know, like if take for example, if a doctor or a nurse is wounded and they're physically ailing, say they've got the flu, say they've you know, been physically hurt like stabbed, they can take care of patients, right? I mean, so how can we, if we're not mentally and emotionally in a good place and happy with ourselves and handling things and you know, not overly stressed, not overly tired, how are we gonna take care of other people and, you know, be the best mother and wife and sister and, you know, daughter? How are we gonna be the best an employee, whatever we do? How are we gonna be the best at that if we're not good within ourselves? So if you look at that and you say, you know, if I can work on these things and start feeling better about this, everything else is affected. It's a blanket effect. It's great. Yeah, but self-esteem's hard to work on. Let me see. No, Blondie didn't. You're fine. You're fine. You see my doggies, Marlet? Where did you go? Where did Marlet go? Oh, it's on a delay, and I'm looking. I see Marlet in the camera, and I'm looking for Marlet. What are you barking at? What are you barking at, you yappy little dog? Come here, Brian. I want to see Brian. Hey, hello. Can you say hello? You're so rotten. Some lady complained about you, and it was all your fault. It's the drama, Weenie. It's the drama. Tell Mommy the drama. Tell me the drama. I'm going to hell, but I'm going laughing. It's a weenie, aren't you, Shay? I'm cute. I'm rotten. It's my sausage dog. So, you know, it's funny. This is the only one that has his balls left. He's the meanest one of all. Okay. I don't like anybody else. Oh, see? I told you now. Spanky, you hush. You just be quiet. You just be quiet. Be quiet. You know a dog trusts you when you do that. Your husband won't let you have a cat. My daughter says he's so controlling. Well, tell him you need a kitty. Yeah, this is Brian. Say, I'm adopted. Oh, I forgot to tell you all. Anything that is donated in any of my chats goes straight. In fact, I've got to get. I'm late doing this, I know. I did a live stream on the 1st of January, on New Year's Day, and we raised some money for, and I'll have to get it all down because we've raised more, for the Operation Underdog, excuse me, it's the rescue. What? You're just talking. There's nobody there. And but anyway, I talked to Sharon Masula, that's the lady that runs it, and she said that I could either PayPal it to her, or we can go directly to PayPal. So after this, I know you're talking. He's not mad. He's not gonna fight. He's talking literally. Hey, woo, woo, they don't want to hear you. They don't want to hear you. And now he's talking. Now he's standing over. Stop. I'm going to put you all outside. You want to go outside? Oh, I'm mad. Brian. You need to calm down. You're the one on my lap. I apologize for the barking. You need to behave. You want down? You want down? You want down? Go fight with your brothers. That's what you're going to do. I swear, it's like having two rotten 3-year-olds, you know, when they're in the past the terrible twos, and then they get 3 and they can talk a lot more, but they can argue a lot more, and they're like, why, what? And that's what wingers are like. And somebody will probably complain, oh my gosh, your dogs are working, but that's it. All right, you need to go. Your husband's very anti-cat. So, you know, my husband's, he was like, I don't want any cats, I just like the dogs. Until there's a cat around. And he has a cat at his office, and his name's Garfield, and it sits on his desk. He can barely do his paperwork, and his desk is really cool. He's got like his stuff, and then he's got like all these monitors and all this stuff. He's an engineer, and so they're always designing stuff and doing all this. He does cool stuff that I know nothing about. And but the cat gets up there and just lays on his desk between the monitors, and he'll take a picture every now and then and show it to me. I'm like, for somebody who doesn't like cats, you sure do have a pet at the office. He's like, Jim brings him in. Jim takes him home on the weekend. And I'm like, all you engineers, all these guys, they feed the cat every day. They make sure he's watered. But Jim takes him home on the weekends. And when it's cold outside, they let it stays in the shop. It has its own bed, its own little litter box. And it was a feral cat that they made friends with. All these guys. Big, tough, grumbly guys. Just like, whatever. Y'all are salty. Oh. My cats are all on point. Never heard the pup and all that. I'm going to send these little boogers outside. Outside right now. Oh, it's raining. They're not going to go outside. That's probably why they're so grumpy. When it rains, the wieners won't go outside. They're like, no. And you literally have to carry them out. So they're probably just mad. You have guinea pigs? Oh my gosh. That's so cool. My bangs look so bad. My friend just bought a coconut house. What's a coconut house? I never understood I had friends with guinea pigs, but I never understood what they were for. They just kind of ran around, and you couldn't really they didn't really play with them. They just stayed in their cages all the time. Kind of like a big hamster. Is that what they do? Do the guinea pigs talk? I'm learning things here. Your grandbaby is a cat. I've seen your grandbaby cat. They're cuddly. See, the ones that I always saw were the ones that, you know, my friends had gotten as kids, and they weren't really friendly. We didn't really do much to them. They were this an occasional time, so I guess they weren't handled enough. And I was like, what's the point? Like my cat you could play with, my dog you could play with. Like the dog would go hunting with me. Yeah, I used to go hunting. Go rabbit hunting. But and she was great. Her name was Ginger. She's a pretty little dog, but she loved to chase rabbits for me. And until I lived in the country growing up. And but I never understood guinea pigs. I was like, what do they do? They're wandering around muttering to themselves. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah, if you're going from one country to another, you really can't take pets. I mean, I know that some places you have to wait like they have to be 6 months in quarantine. That's crazy. I think if they're up to date on their shots, let them go. But you know, mine can't even go to the groomers without they have on file proof of all the shots and all the stuff. Which the lady that takes care of our babies, oh my gosh, I wouldn't let anybody else touch them and they love her. It's a vacation for them when we go on vacation, which we're taking off to the beach soon because I can't stand this cold weather anymore. I'm about to have it. But yeah, they should be handled. One of mine literally ran up my shoulder in snow. Oh, that's so sweet. All right, darling. Love you, Kelly. I will talk to you later. I'll DM you tomorrow, okay? Or you DM me later on. I have a meeting at 11:30 tonight because one of my coworkers works in India, or she lives in India. She's Indian. Actually, a couple of them, and they're so sweet. I love these ladies, but they're backwards. They're upside down from us. So I have to meet with her either early in the morning or late at night, and it's better late at night. So a carrot house. It's a cardboard box with a dried carrot over the top. I in your bag. It's a literal coconut house, 75 pounds. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. Do they just eat the coconut out of the house? Do they just eat like the dried coconut? Oh my gosh. Bye, sweetheart. You get some rest. You've had a rough day. Steph, I need to see pictures of this. I'm gonna have to go Google. Get some rest, Kelly. Get some sleep. That is so cool. But you know, I couldn't have a guinea pig because the wieners would eat it. They eat everything. They eat the cats that come through the yard. That's why I can't have a cat. Spanky's the spotted one. He about took down an owl, and not one of the little owls, one of the great big owls. It's probably like 2 feet tall, and the wingspan is huge. And we have them in the trees all around. Well, one came down, and I guess they were after the fish or a frog at the koi pond. And Frankie got a hold of it, and he got a hold of one wing, and the thing was like doing this, trying to get away from him, and he was not letting go. And Daniel had to go out there and grab Spanky, pry his jaws apart, and then the owl took off. Because I love our owls. You can hear them go, ooh, 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 in the middle of the night, all night long, because we leave the balcony door open, and you hear that, and then you hear the tree frogs singing, and every now and then you hear the deer. We have a big bug deer, and he'll go like that, and it's real deep, like, but it's not exactly like I can't do it right, but my husband can do it. You'll hear him, and you'll see him come through, and he has the biggest rack. It's like, and he has so many does, and there are a couple of young bucks that haven't been kicked out yet, but they're so pretty. Do you see what they're doing back there? They come out and they look up the steps because that's the 3rd floor, and the front door is on the 3rd floor, and then we have doors pretty much at every level except for this one. It's just the balcony door, and the utility room door. But anyway, our house goes down the mountain. But they're watching to see when Daddy comes home, because they'll come out and they'll look and they'll stare, and sometimes they'll lay on the bottom step. See, he's laying on the bottom step, and then Marlette will go in there. But yeah, they're waiting on their daddy to come home because they know food comes and hugs and lovings and treats, and it's just funny. It's not even a house. They tip it up and just destroy it. That is hilarious. I need to see this. I'm gonna have to go. Let me Google this. Coconut house for guinea pigs. That's hilarious. I would never thought of such a thing. Coconut cream pie. Can you tell what I need to? Okay, there's one for hamster. Oh my gosh! Well, they're only like $7 here. Well, that's on Amazon. Oh, wait a minute. That's not a real one. Okay. This is funny. It's DIY. Wait a minute. I'm going to have to, let me flip to the other one. It's a do-it-yourself coconut dwarf hamster house. How funny is that? Y'all shut up. Y'all be quiet. Is that not a hoot? I bet there's a YouTube video on this. You know what I'm going to end up doing? I'm going to need to watch the YouTube video on how to make a coconut house for hamster. When you know what I ought to be doing? I ought to be looking for, because I took down all of the, okay, you know, I'm picking out all the appliances last weekend at Lowe's. And Daniel's like, we need to shop a couple different places before we decide and make sure that that's the colors you want. I'm like, okay. So I've got all of like the numbers, the brand names, the numbers, the prices. So my job tonight is supposed to be getting online, and because we're heading to Charleston tomorrow, and getting online and seeing who's got what, you know, Best Buy. There's a Sears up there, and they probably got it. They're probably giving the shit away because Sears is closing everywhere. But I'm supposed to be price shopping. But yeah, that's hilarious that he's made me do that. But he'll probably help me. But actually, I'll probably watch this first to do-it-yourself coconut. That is adorable. You know, I had hamsters when we were little. I started out with 2. I ended up with like 23. And I think I gave all my friends hamsters. Look up guinea pig houses. It's far more fun. Okay, let me look it up. I love doing this. Guinea pig houses. I'll say guinea pig houses, probably. Guinea pig houses. Oh, that's cute. They got, look at them fat little boogers. They're always so fat-faced. They look like the teddy bear hamsters. That's the kind that we have. Oh, here's a $110 house for your guinea pig. Oh, no, we don't need to eat. Look at this. Let me switch over. Wait a minute. I can't see what I'm doing if I'm on the wrong screen. Do y'all see that? See, now that's something that I would do if I had guinea pigs. Because I would spend $110 on a guinea pig house. How cute is that? Oh my Lord. Let me see. What else they got? These are too cute. They got bunnies in it too. Oh, these are cute. They've got some nice ones. They combine with rabbit hutches. Oh, look at that. This reminds me of what we had for my hamsters when we were little, like these. But there you see it. We had something like that, but it had tubes in it, and it had the hamster wheel, and you know all that stuff on it. And they would just play, and we'd watch them. And I remember we took them to my grandparents, and a bunch of them died, and I had my suspicions about who did what to our hamsters. But Granny swore she didn't do anything to them. She liked the hamsters. My papa did not. But we had a lot of them. And after we had a lot of them, all our friends had them. And then a friend of ours, Jimmy, his parents let him get ferrets. And he started out with 2 ferrets, and he had a bunch of ferrets by the time he was done. And his dad's a doctor, and he had to take them to the vet and get them. They descent them or something. I don't know. But anyway, his mom was like, it's time for the ferrets to go away. Hi, Beyond Beauty. How are you, doll baby? Yeah, see, Steph. Now I would buy something like that, but I never let my youngin have a hamster because I remember what happened to ours, and I thought I am not ending up having to give all her friends hamsters. We've got enough. We had a cat that was evil. We had a dog when she was young, and then of course after she got older we had pets. But it was just I said no rodents. We're not doing the rodents. I had enough of that growing up. But yeah, that was cute. I just think it's funny, and you know, and when we're kids, I think it's important for us to get our children pets. Like, you know, my daughter and my stepdaughter, they had to feed the cat, and the cat was inside outside because I don't like litter boxes. I just think litter boxes are gross. I'm like, just put the cat out. You know, cats can go do their thing outside. You know, and if they run off, that's just too bad for them. And you know, they come home when they want food. But you know, I just think it's important for kids to learn to handle animals and treat them well and take care of them. I think it teaches them responsibility. But how are you doing this evening? Beyond Beauty? It's so good to see people coming back. We don't have a big crowd in here, but we have a lot of friends. And I'm glad about that. We've got about 10 more minutes, and then my husband's going to be coming home. And I told Jane, and I've told some other people, my husband's outdid himself. He got me a ruby necklace, but it's not just like a pendant. It's like a necklace. It's a mistake piece. And right now it's at the jeweler, and we have to have it insured. But yeah, he outdid himself. So I had a good time at Valentine's Day. I hope all of you did. He also got me a dozen roses, and he got a big box. This is something that he does every year, and I love it. He got me a big box of Russell Stover candies. Well, I only like 3 of Russell Stover candies that are mixed up, but he likes all the rest. And I just think it's cute. He comes in with that great big heart of Russell Stover's candies, and then he eats them. And that makes me so happy because, first of all, I don't need them, but it's just so cute. He'll get one every time he comes by. He'll be like getting one of them. He'll be like, "You don't like these, do you?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." So you can eat all of them. Let's see. Hi, Jane. Welcome back, honey. And but yeah, we had a really good Valentine's Day. I made him dinner, and he's getting a rod and reel because God bless it, he's only got a dozen, and he's got. I don't know whether this one he just got for his birthday a new one that's like the biggest thing out this year for bass fishing, because y'all know I'm a bass widow. Every Saturday he goes fishing, and so he got one of those, and then I don't know whether he's getting another bass or freshwater rod and reel. See, I don't fish, so I don't know anything. I just hear crankbait all the time, and but he's got one for when he goes to the ocean, goes to those Gulf Stream things, and they get the big fish. But and he's also got one for being on the beach. But so I don't know which one he's going to get this weekend. But I told him, I said, you got to pick it out because I don't know anything about it. I don't know nothing about fishing. But so he's getting that. And I also bought him regular shoes to wear to work and tennis shoes, because that means you can go see some shoes. But so that was our Valentine's, and I hope everybody in here had a wonderful Valentine's Day. I've heard from some of you what you got for Valentine's, and some stayed home and just had a nice quiet evening. Some went out, and some got presents. I know that we need to go on a massive search for a diamond and peridot tennis bracelet for somebody for a birthday, right? But I am spoiled. Oh, I know it. Puddin', I am just he's ruined me. But you know what? That's part of the luxury of being empty nesters, and you can do things for each other. You can go places easier, and the gifts get better. Both giving and receiving. So it's fun. It really is. It's if I had known in my 20s how much fun life was going to be in my 40s, I wouldn't have regretted getting older a bit, because once you get at this age, And we were also discussing this earlier. It's good, and people, want to insult you and say, "Oh, you old lady." I'm like, call me what you want. I'm happy. So how far away? That's right. Wee. Y'all need to check out my shirts. My boobs are my billboard. See, they're good for something. But how cute is this? I designed this, and I put it on Teespring, and it was for sale for so many days. And I don't even know how many people ordered it. But you see, it says, "Monetize me." Monetize me. I always get it backwards looking at the camera. Let me pull this down a little bit. Okay. Let me get the other screen up so I know what the heck I'm doing, because it's on delay. Okay, so up here it says "Monetize me," YouTube, and then it's got my web address, and then underneath it says "and." And the reason I put that there was in case anybody else wanted to order one, they could put their YouTube channel underneath. That way, it's advertising for everybody. And the reason I'm doing that, if you haven't heard me bitch about this before, okay, I have been eligible to be monetized since November. I had 1,000 subs in, and I had enough viewing hours, and I was ready to go. And they made me partner, and then it said full review. Now I don't do anything on this channel, y'all know. So it's not like I sit here and curse and start drama or scream at people. I scream a little in the kitchen, but yeah, I'm safe to watch. I'm about as safe as it gets. But I've been under review since November, and there's just really no reason why they can't monetize me. But anyway, so that's my shirt, and I plan to wear it. And I'm going to go make another thing on Teespring so we can sell more of these. And I hope everybody gets it. And where is it? He had a quiet. Yes, he got me the statement necklace. He got me the ruby one. And wait till you see it. I wanted, because it's in a state piece, they have to check it and go over it and make sure that everything's just so. And then it has to be insured. And then I get to have it. But you had a quiet Valentine's Day at home. Your husband's feeling kind of low. Oh, I'm sorry, he's got the flu. Oh, send him to the neighbors. You don't want to get that. No, I know you wouldn't do that. But I hate he has the flu. It's the last time I make my husband take a flu shot every year, and thank God he has not gotten it. But whenever anybody is sick around his office, I have a thing that I put together, Feasel, and some essential oils, and I'm like, you rub this on your beard, you rub it on your phone, you rub it on the doorknobs, and then you Clorox everything, and don't let anybody get close to you, because if he brings it home to me, I'm screwed. But I remember the last time he had the flu, and he gave it to me, and oh, it was awful. I feel for you, doll baby. I feel for your husband, and I feel for you both. So I'm sorry about that. Gatorade, chicken soup, and lots of sleep, and and Alka-Seltzer Flu, I swear, is the only medicine that works for us. I don't know what you're giving him, but they have Tamiflu if you catch it early. But who catches it early enough for Tamiflu to work? And plus, that shit's expensive, and even with insurance, it's expensive. But Alka-Seltzer Flu was awesome. He's paying to the other side of the house. I'm now in a hurry to get the flu. I'm in no hurry to get the flu. I agree. Yeah, like him over there. Walk around with, the mask on and gloves. No, you're quarantined. God love you. That's awful. That's one of the worst things that's come here. And that's why I want to get away. And we're so tired with everything that's been going on. And my husband, he had 3 weeks vacation. I think he gets 4 this year. 3 weeks vacation last year, and he didn't use 2 weeks of it because work was so busy. I mean, everything just exploded. The economy went crazy, and he's in mining industry, mining and lighting, electrical, and power sources and all that. And people are like, mining's never coming back. Bullshit. they're opening everything up. Mines are being sold to new people, and and they are overloaded. So he didn't get to take any vacation last year. And I said, or just a few days here and there when I had surgery and when I had to go to Cleveland to the hospital up there. But I said, we need to take some vacation. We're going to take 4-day weekends all through the year, and we're going to make sure you use it because, oh, you're back, Drama Queen. Yay! Oh, Janie, it was good to have you. Got a second viewing in the morning of my first house buy, and I really want it to go. Oh, good luck. God bless and good luck. I hope everything goes perfectly. And I'm just tickled to death. And Drama Queen, I'm so happy that you all got a 9/11. The new kitchen. Okay, we're going our way to the new kitchen. Tomorrow. We're going to Charleston, and we're going to look at a couple of other stores just to make sure we're getting exactly what I want. Because we went last weekend and we looked, and then tomorrow we'll solidify, exactly. Because I can't decide. the light stainless with black accents, it's not completely smudge proof, but the darker stainless with the black accents is smudge proof. And I'm like, I don't know, because I mean, I have a big kitchen, but we're doing the cabinets dark, and we're doing white marble countertops, and then we're doing this all behind here in marble as well, either marble tiled or like white with gray going through it, or I may just do a marble backsplash like this and then paint the rest, because we're doing the paint is going to be all real pale gray. So I don't know if that's going to be too dark in here if I have all dark appliances, because like my dishwasher is black, my refrigerator's white, but that's black, and then that's off white. I didn't choose these; they were here when I came. So I think I want really light colors. This kitchen I want to brighten up, and because it's all creams and then it's got this green, and I hate the color green, and I've hated it since we moved in. But I don't know. I've got to look at it, and then we'll decide tomorrow which one we're going to go with. The Samsung products are nice. I really like them. They have a double oven that I want, and but I want to make sure that I'm getting the best deal for what I got. And I found the refrigerator. That was awesome. It's got the double doors, and it has an ice maker, and it has a pull-out freezer. But in top of the freezer, it's got like a really cool double vegetable bin. It's like the vegetable bin goes all the way across, and then on top of that, there's another vegetable bin. So that's awesome. Plus, we're getting a deep freezer for downstairs, and so it's just a lot. And we're getting a new dryer, and we're not. I want to get a matching set, but we're not worried about that right now. The dryer is a dryer. But and my laundry room is just off the kitchen, which makes it really convenient. But we just need a dryer that works better. This one doesn't work as well. I've had it for forever. My God, I think I bought that washer and dryer after I think it was after my first divorce. It was a while after, but I was living in North Carolina. Those things have been all over 3 states. But it is, Jane. It's fun to do, but it's like I want to make sure that what I do is something that I'm going to be able to live with for, I don't know, you only remodel every 10 to 15 years. And with marble countertops, I definitely want to make sure they're exactly what I want. I want them honed and sealed. And I want the good marble. I want the real white, but I want to make sure that the appliances are all exactly what I want. I'm excited about having a double oven. And because my oven doesn't hold temperature real well, I've noticed that. That's one of the reasons we decided to go ahead and do it now. But it's going to be cool to actually have things the way I want them. Like the upstairs, I've got it all arranged and in the den and everywhere. I've done all my thing, but we put off the kitchen because it's so expensive to last. And then we're doing the floors in here. Like we've got linoleum floors, and I don't want them. I want hardwood floors. So we're going to put those in. And but this is a lot of house. It takes a long time for this much house to get exactly the way you want. But I'm enjoying each step of it. Yeah, it's stressing me some, but I'm excited stressed. It's not like a bad stress; it's a good stress. And Drama Queen, hey, how old? I don't know how old your baby is, but I just remember when we would have Madeline go, like to her grandparents or her aunts. They would keep her overnight, and I didn't even have to go anywhere. All I had to do was go. Because there's nobody to worry about but myself. Do you hear this? This is because Daddy's coming home, and they know it. But yeah, I am gonna love it. And we've lived here 5 years. It's time to do it, and we've done the outside, and we've been working upstairs and just doing things as we came along. And I'm just really excited about getting things the way I want. And I love this house. You couldn't get me to move with crowbar, but and everybody that comes here says it's really homey and comfortable, and that's important to me. I want to have a nice home, but I'm comfortable. And I don't want it too dark. You know, I don't like a dark kitchen. I like it bright. And this kitchen needs to be lightened up. We're going to change the lighting around. We're going to change the lighting fixtures. I found some hanging lights that I really liked. And we have a chandelier that we bought. The chandelier that you've probably seen it. You can't see it now. It's red and gold and crystal. And we got it in Tennessee. We were antiquing. And it's old. And we cleaned it up and everything. And then we rewired it and hung it over the dining room table. And it's so pretty, but it's got an old-fashioned track lighting around it. And I want my husband to replace that. And I want in here, instead of the single light, I want to have the hanging, they're like bell lights. And they're much prettier and they give off a better light. Because my lighting in here is kind of yellow. And then I have under cabinet lighting. And I like it. It's fine. But I want to change out where they're kind of a cream colored covering over it. And I want that to be brighter. I want it to be white. So it's just little things like that. It's all what we call piddling stuff. You know, just a little this, a little that. My baby girl is 4. I still have my boys here, ages 8 and 11, but it's nice to light and light for that. You know, it is. And with a 4-year-old, it's a lot of work. That's a lot to do. So getting you a break, and you know, once you get the boys down, you only spend one at a time. To my sister, who's on, I would honestly, that you're such a good mom. See, that shows you're a good mama. I love to hear that you know, I can't be without, I have to have at least 1 or 2 here. Honestly, I think that's why I let mine have all her friends come over to our house, because I would miss her so bad when she was gone. If she was gone for like more than a night. Now she would go visit ever so often, but I would miss her. She's my buddy. And so I just rather have her friends over, you know. But I totally understand your feeling. Well, listen, y'all. Love everybody. Love y'all. You love yourself. It's a little after 6 o'clock. My dogs are scouting out. They know Daddy's coming home. So I just really appreciate everyone being here. And it's been nice chatting. We've had a good discussion. And if you want to be on the panel next week, all you have to do is send me a DM. Once again, you've got my Twitter. It's Mama Beth at Mama Beth World. And just send me a tweet, send me a DM, tell me. And you'd like to come on, and I'll make sure to put you in the Google Hangout. I'll send you the Google Hangout link. Make sure that you downloaded it on your computer, that Google Hangout, so you can just click it and come right on, and it shouldn't be any problem. But I love you too. Big hugs to you, Puddin'. Big hugs to everyone. You all enjoy your Friday night. Go eat something good. Go watch something good on TV. Go out and do something fun if you're inclined. Be safe, be happy, be well, be loved. Okay? I love you, and you love you. Okay? I guess I'm going to pull a Katie and say, okay, ciao, bye.